All right, everybody, buckle up because we are diving into something I think a lot of you have probably daydreamed about at least once or twice.
At least once or twice, right? Early retire. Who doesn't love a good early retirement fantasy?
Exactly. And we're going to dig into a video today by Eric on the Time to Retire channel.
Love that channel.
Me too. And, he dives into some really interesting points about why this is something worth thinking about, even if it feels like, okay, that's a million years away.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how is this relevant to me right now?
Totally. So let's get right into it. I mean, one of the things that really struck me right off the bat was how he frames this whole discussion around health and time.
Yeah, and that's brilliant because that's something everyone can relate to.
Totally. I mean, it's not just about the finances, right?
Yeah.
It's about, okay, if I had the choice, when would I actually want to retire?
Right. And in the best case scenario, would you be healthy enough to enjoy it?
Exactly. And he uses this framework that I just love.
What is it?
The go slow, and
Rather not go years.
the rather not go years.
Which, let's be real, nobody wants to rush those.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
But the point is, we want to make the most of those go-go years, right?
Yes.
When you're hopefully feeling your best, you've got the energy, you want to travel, you've got those passions you've been putting off.
Exactly.
This
Exactly.
is the time to do it.
And he throws out some stats, too,
Oh, yeah, he does.
that I have to admit were a little sobering,
Like a reality check.
A reality check. Yeah, exactly.
What were some of the ones that stood out to you?
I mean, talking about like the average age for knee replacements, 65, stents right around there too.
Yeah.
Strokes like 73. And you start thinking, okay, if I'm waiting till I'm 65, 70 to retire.
Yeah. Are you really going to be able to do all the things that you want to do?
Exactly.
And like you said, it's not meant to be a downer. It's just like a dose of reality.
Yeah.
Let's be real about what we're facing and be intentional about how we want to live our lives.
Yeah.
It makes you think, okay, if those things do happen, and hopefully they don't, but if they do, wouldn't you rather have had those amazing adventures when you were younger and healthier?
That actually reminds me of a friend of mine. He was planning on working a little bit longer than, the typical retirement age.
Yeah.
Loved his job. But then some health things came up, completely unexpected.
Oh, no.
And it was like, okay, well, now you have to retire.
Yeah.
And it made me realize that, yeah, sometimes it's not even our choice.
Right, exactly.
Like, life happens.
It's like that analogy, I think Eric uses it in the video, about being at a concert, right?
Okay.
And that last song is your absolute favorite song.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you want that song to last a little bit longer?
of course.
Like maybe get an encore. Right.
Right.
That's what those go-go years can be like if you plan it right.
I like that. So it's not just about the when of it all. It's also about the want to of it all, right?
Absolutely. He talks about the two A's, aspiration and ability.
Yes. Tell me more about that.
Because you could have the ability financially to retire early,
Right.
but if you don't have the aspiration, the desire, then what's the point?
Yeah. Some people, they love what they do. They want to keep doing it. And that's awesome.
That's great. But for others, that early retirement, it's like this dream.
Right.
And maybe it feels impossible now,
Yeah.
but even just thinking about it, like we are now, can plant that seed.
It's about figuring out what you want, right?
Exactly.
And so, I mean, I think it's important for our listeners to hear that this isn't about like everybody needs to retire tomorrow.
No, not at all.
It's more about like, where does this fit into your life?
Totally. And I love that you brought that up because even if it seems like a distant dream right now,
Yeah.
it's about being mindful of your priorities today.
Yes.
So like, what are some small steps that you can take now that might open up those possibilities later? So maybe it is looking at your budget. Maybe it's dusting off that old hobby that you loved. Maybe it's just having an open and honest conversation with your partner about what you want your future to look like.
And you know what? Sometimes just having those conversations can make it feel a little less overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely. And you might be surprised at how those small steps can actually make those go-go years feel a lot closer.
I love that. All right, everybody, there you have it. Some serious food for thought today.
Definitely.
And hey, it might be time to start planning for that encore.
Why not?
Why not, Trey?